Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you ways to start and end bracelets. Okay, so the first one that I'm not going to actually show because it's pretty self-explanatory is the way if you have an uneven number of colors, or amounts of the colors. And that's like on this one, for this one you have 3 black strings, 3 white strings, so you can't really make a loop because you would have a few strings sticking up, and that bothers me. It may not bother you, so you can just make a loop if you want to. It bothers me, so what I do for that is I just tie a knot in the beginning, and then braid a little, tie another knot, and then start the bracelet, like I did here. And then the way you tie it is you just get the 2 ends and tie an overhand knot, or a square knot, or a granny knot. So that one doesn't really need any explaining because I will be doing showing you how to braid if you don't know how. So the next way is the easiest way, and the one that a lot of people like to do. What they do is they just line up the ends when they have an even amount of each color. So right now I'm using yarn, so it's easier for you to see. So what they do is they just make a loop at the top and tie an overhand knot by going like this. And there's the knot. I personally don't like this way because I have a bracelet actually, that I wore so much, and one of them I just tied an overhand knot, and the other one I braided at the top, and the braided one has lasted a lot longer. So I like the braided, like this style, like this, because it lasts longer and it works better, and it's just kind of easier when your strings start fraying. Because when you have this, your strings can start fraying, so you'd have to like sift through each one, so it can get a little cumbersome. So the next way is braiding the top, and I actually will be having a tutorial on this bracelet right here. So this is the Ankara bracelet, except it doesn't have beads, but the top of it is braided. So what you do for that one is you just line up all your ends, smooth your bracelet out, or smooth your string out, and then you find the other end by folding it in half. So you just fold it in half like you did for the other one. And then you have a loop at the top. Then what you do is you find out where you want your loop to be, and I want mine to be right here. And then you just put it under a clipboard at that marking. And then all you do is braid. And to braid, if you don't know how, you have 3 strands. So you may want to group your strands. So you have 3, like if you have 5 colors, you would want to do 2 strands, 2 strands, and then 1 strand. But here I only have 3, just to make it simple. So to braid, all you do is take the string on your far left and go over the string in the middle. Then take the string on the far right and go over the string in the middle. And you just keep doing that. So far left over middle, far right over middle. Out from under your clipboard, place the 2 ends together and tie an overhand knot. And there you have it. Now you may want to pull on your individual strands so that you would pull the strings down so you have a nice clean knot. The final way to create a loop for your strings is very similar to the bracelet buckle, which looks like this. You can find a link at the end or in the description on how to make that. So, this final one is like a knotted loop at the beginning. So you do the same thing that you did to find the braided. You line up the ends, form a loop, and find out where you want your strings to go, or your loop to be. So I want mine to be about here. Place that under your clipboard or tape. Now, this is knotting using half square knots and half forward knots and half backward knots. So you do a forward knot in the strings that are in the middle. and you don't cross over. Bring it to the other side. Then do a backward knot on the half, on the strings in the middle. Don't cross over. And then you just repeat that until you have the desired length. Once you achieve your desired length, take it out from under the clipboard. Fold it in half to create a loop. What you can do is you can either tie an overhand knot or begin to knot your bracelet. So you would just start with the strings that you have now, line them up, put it under your clipboard, and begin to tie. I'm only going to do the middle strand because I need to take the knots out. But you see it is connected in the middle by that knot, and this will not come out. A note, if you want to do this method, you need to make the two strings that you are planning on using a little longer than the rest of the strings, because as you can see here, this is the amount that it took. It may be different on yours because you may have more or less. So I would give an extra 4 or 5 inches with your bracelet. To end your bracelet, what you may want to do is you may just want to tie an overhand knot where the bracelet ends and be done. And you can separate the strands and tie them. I like to braid because it looks nicer and it seems to give a more finished look. So, what you would do if you had a loop in the top is you would split it into 2 groups. Then, you would take either side and braid until you reach your desired length. Then, tie an overhand knot. To fasten, then tie an overhand knot, or a granny knot. And there you have it. Another way to end is you could do the bracelet buckle ending. There will be a link at the end of the video as well as in the description on how to do this. To fasten with this, what you do is you loop it around your wrist, put the end through the loop from top to bottom, then loop around the bottom and go to the second loop, which is here. Go up through the bottom, pull, and there you have it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!